Today on D&D Academia, the huge giant known as the Fomorian. The information for this giant can be found in the Monster Manual. A Fomorian has a challenge rating of 8, natural armor class of 14, and 149 hit points. It has a speed of 30 feet, dark vision of 120 feet. As for languages, giant and undercommon. With its passive perception of 18 and a +8 to perception checks, it doesn't miss much. For its actions, it does get multi-attack. The Fomorian attacks twice with its Great Club, or makes one Great Club attack, and uses Evil Eye once. The Great Club melee weapon attack is a +9 to hit, with a reach of 15 feet on one target. If it hits, it does 3d8 +6 bludgeoning damage. As for the Evil Eye attack, the Fomorian magically forces a creature it can see within 60 feet of it to make a DC 14 Charisma saving throw. The creature takes 68 psychic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. This attack may even come with an additional issue called Curse of the Evil Eye. This ability recharges after a short rest or long rest. With a stare, the Fomorian uses Evil Eye, but on a failed save, the creature is also cursed with magical deformities. While deformed, the creature has its speed halved, and has disadvantage on ability checks, saving throws, and attacks based on strength or dexterity. The transformed creature can repeat the saving throw whenever it finishes a long rest, ending the effect on a success. Here is the lore of the Fomorians. The most hideous and wicked of all giant kind are the godless Fomorians, whose deformed bodies reflect their vile demeanors. Some have facial features randomly distributed around their misshapen warty heads. Others have limbs of grossly different sizes and shapes, or emit terrible howls each time they draw breath through their misshapen mouths. Their wretched appearance rarely evokes sympathy. However, for the Fomorians brought their doom upon themselves with the evil that rules their hearts and minds. The elves remember when the Fomorians were among the most handsome of races, possessed of brilliant minds and unrivaled magic ability. That physical perfection did not extend to their hearts, however, as a lust for magic and power consumed them. The Fomorians sought to conquer the Feywild and enslave its inhabitants, claiming those creatures' magic for themselves. When the Fey united to defend their realm, the Fomorians fought them and were subjected to a terrible curse. One by one, the giants fell as their bodies were warped to reflect the evil in their hearts. Stripped of their grace and magical power, the wretched horrors fled from the light, delving deep beneath the world to nurse their hatred. Cursing their fate, they have ever after plotted vengeance against the Fey that wronged them. The Fomorians mainly dwell in eerily beautiful caverns in the Underdark, rarely venturing to the surface. Their lairs feature abundant access to water, fish, and mushroom forests, as well as to the creatures whose slave labor keeps the Fomorians fed. When those slaves can no longer toil, they are slain and devoured. Wickedness and depravity are the cornerstones of Fomorian society, in which the strongest and cruelest giants rule. Fomorians mark their territories with the corpses of their enemies, painting their cavern walls with blood, or stitching together limbs and body parts to make mockeries of the creatures they have killed. The deformities visited on the Fomorians prevent them from hurling rocks like their giant kin, or wearing anything more than scraps of cloth. However, the grotesque positioning of their eyes, noses, and ears gives Fomorians keen, perceptive abilities, making it hard to surprise or ambush them. The greed and evil of the Fomorians lies at the heart of their degeneration and fall, and continues to plague them. Fomorians make alliances with other creatures when it suits them, but they are disloyal by nature and betray their allies on a whim. Fomorians can pass their curse onto others using a power called the Evil Eye, a last vestige of the giant's once remarkable spellcasting ability. A creature cursed by a Fomorian's evil eye is magically twisted and deformed, gaining a glimpse into the pain and malice that has consumed this evil race. Now, as for how to incorporate Fomorians into your game, perhaps your adventurers happen upon a village that has a large population of deformed denizens. They tell of a giant in a cave not far off that has been deforming them for its own amusement. If you are strictly dealing with the storyline or campaign dealing with giants, Fomorians are great for caverns or Underdark encounters. Maybe there's a society of Fomorians that have enslaved a group of people that need the party's help. With the Fomorians' heightened senses, perhaps it caught the scent or trail of one of the players, and is now slowly chasing after them. Since Fomorian leaders are the largest and strongest, your adventurers could stumble upon a tournament or leadership ceremony that they unfortunately get involved in. If you are in need of a horribly wicked or evil or twisted giant, Fomorians are definitely a good pick to go with. Now you know more about them, and possibly how to introduce them. Enjoy giving your players a huge problem to deal with.